Hey, everybody. We have a very special episode today. We have our special guest, Mr. Jimmy Ray. How are you, sir?
Great. Yourself, Rachel?
Doing wonderful. Now, we have a venture you're really excited about, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me, what is Inbox Boots?
So, Inbox Booze is a revolutionary and robust company out of Vancouver, Canada. They're just launching here in the U.S. marketplace, and Stephanie and I have the opportunity to be one of the first, like, not necessarily franchisee, what we call, they call us the inboxers.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, their marketing, they just started April 15th, 2024, just a few
Mm-hmm.
short weeks ago, and we're the first ones to be able to market in the DFW marketplace.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes, ma'am.
So you just say it's a Canadian company, correct?
Yes, and how this company got started, it was kind of like most companies, they come up with a solution
Mm-hmm.
to bridge the gap between the problem that they see. So this company, the two founders, Scott and Ruben,
Mm-hmm.
they had a digital company called Digital Hot Sauce,
Right.
and back in 2017, they started growing so fast. Well, right before 2017, when they founded this company, they started growing so fast with a marketing company, just like any other company. When they started to grow, they needed more space,
Right.
quiet space for their
Mm-hmm.
techies and programmers, and
Mm-hmm.
being a digital marketing, they needed somewhere quiet where their programmers could work.
Okay.
So they did like any other company. They called a contractor to come out, build on the property, some quiet spaces,
Mm-hmm.
and what they come to find out is through it all, it was really not worth it. What happened is the rooms that they built
Mm-hmm.
started sweating, real humid, didn't have ventilation, didn't have the proper lighting,
Right.
and it was not soundproof. You could still hear one another talking.
Mm-hmm.
So really, they didn't solve the problem. What they did, they created a really big tax write-off. So
Right.
they basically had to tear everything down. It didn't work.
Right.
So they started researching on how they can expand, but be more mobile with their office space.
Mm-hmm.
So in their research, they started finding other companies with the modular booths and everything. But what they was finding, they was real pricey,
Right.
uh, clunky,
Mm-hmm.
heavy, not easy to move around. So uh, the innovators that Scott and Ruben are,
Mm-hmm.
they started designing their own booths that were lighter,
Okay.
easier to move around, more mobile, and
Mm-hmm.
more soundproof. And so that's when Inbox Booth was born in 2017.
Wow. Which I mean, we're in one right now.
Yes, ma'am.
this,
Yes, ma'am.
this is really nice. I'm really enjoying it. So, I would like to ask you, what sets Inbox Boost apart from others?
So the main thing that sets them apart, really, as I stated a while ago, construction companies,
Mm-hmm.
contractors, that's kind of really our competitors.
Mm-hmm.
But there is other companies that manufacture these across the world.
Right.
And Inbox Boost being out of Canada here in North America, they're more local. And we got a warehouse full of them here. So it's really easy to accommodate the 2 week turnaround anywhere in
Mm-hmm.
North America, having one in Canada warehouse and in Dallas. So what really sets them apart is I was wanting to bring up in my book, I'm dyslexic and I'm a business coach, but to remember in the book, the seventh chapter of this book that I wrote, I wanted to bring out the characteristics of what sets Inbox Boost apart. And as I wrote in this book about how Simon Sinek expresses how Apple works, their why, their how, and their
Mm-hmm.
what. So the why, as Apple, that I put into the book here, it says Apple's why is they think differently and they challenge the status quo.
Mm-hmm.
And Ruben and Scott are doing the same thing in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
They're disrupting this industry by thinking differently, by
Mm-hmm.
creating lighter, more mobile booths, easier to move around and easier to assemble.
Mm-hmm.
And they're more sleek or elegant
Mm-hmm.
than the other bulky. And their how, as Simon Sinek that I put in the book here, is the how the Apple did it is the way we do this is by making products that are easy, elegant, and well designed. I kind of got ahead of myself. That's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing Ruben and Scott are doing with Inbox Boost.
Mm-hmm.
Is these are very elegant. You're in one.
Mm-hmm.
You can have your diffuser right here as we have, real quiet. secluded. You can get more things done,
Right.
be more creative, more productive.
Mhm.
So their what just so happens that they create booths.
Yes.
So all in all, is their why is they think differently, they're
Mhm.
more innovative,
Mhm.
and they're really focused, centered on helping other people become the best version of themselves that they were created to be.
That's great.
Which leads us to the second point that I wanted to state, like I said before already, is they're disrupting the marketplace in
Mhm.
this industry by being separate with their leadership.
Right.
And they're not novel, but they're really innovative.
Mhm.
And let me explain that what the difference between novelty and innovation is, as I have in my book here.
Mhm.
Novelty is defined as a new or unusual. It is often marketed as innovation, but novelty and innovation are very different from one another.
Yes.
Okay, let me turn the page. Novelty is merely introducing something new and will eventually fade into the past. Novelty is more of a gimmick than a real innovation.
Right.
Innovation is change that is valuable, that persists in the industry well into the future. It is a reinvention in ways that matter to customers. Ultimately, novelty tricks customers into thinking that the product or service is innovative when it's not. Just
Mhm.
like when the razor come out, if you remember
Right.
that,
Right.
so when the razor come out, they was like, oh, it's innovative, it's going to be here forever and everything. And then when Apple come along and says, we think differently, it's not because of the touch screens or removing the buttons. It's how the iPhone changed the industry and telling the manufacturers what their phone would do. So
Mhm.
whenever companies introduce multiple minor variants of a product, that's a sign that they're practicing novelty instead of innovation.
Right.
And I put in this book, like Simon Sinek says, like Colgate's got 32 different types.
Mhm.
Well, the great thing about inbox booths is they have very few and selective models. They're
Mhm.
not all over the place.
Right.
We have models that look like phone booths. We're going to bring back the phone booths and hotel lobbies and restaurants and barber shops. How
Right.
many times you've been at a networking event at like a I was just at the Allen Convention Center the other day, and I had two phone calls, and I was trying to find a place to duck into the corner or go to the bathroom, or you have to walk all the way outside.
Right.
But if they had these phone booths sitting all around the property, somebody quickly take a phone call is more convenient,
Right.
for the people, the experience.
Right. Of
So we
course.
got the phone booth styles. We got the booths like this, quad meeting booth.
Mhm.
We got single booths for great for college students,
Mhm.
a work from home or anything. Some of the companies that we already work with, they're hybrid uh, employees.
Mhm.
They got some in their homes that that when they're working at home, they have a quiet place. They don't have, like, when they're doing a Zoom call, your dog barks.
Oh,
So
gotcha. Yeah.
how many times have you been on one of those interviews or in those meetings and somebody's dog is yapping in the background? So to eliminate that too. So what Ruben and Scott are doing are very innovative. One quick thing I wanted to say also, as far as what sets them apart, uh, is they're people over profits.
Mhm.
And the reason um, I really wanted to get involved with this company is their morals lined up with Stephanie and I's,
Right.
with our, not only are uh, being in a prison ministry and everything, but the focal points on how Stephanie and I we want to help everybody that we come in contact with become the best version of themselves
Mhm.
that God created them to be.
Right.
And that's what Scott and Ruben are doing too.
Mhm.
So the reason I locked arms with them is because they want to help other business leaders
Mhm.
become more successful.
Mhm.
And their mission is to unlock the full potential
Mhm.
of the business leaders across the board.
Right.
And their second greatest moral value is to unlock their financial gains, helping other businesses create more net new profits.
Okay.
And they do that by making these boosts so their employees and their entrepreneurs and business leaders can
Mhm.
be more creative, get more things done in a shorter period of time with less distractions.
Right.
And the bottom line of that we've come to find out with the metrics is they have created more net new profits for these businesses
Okay.
in a very short period of time.
That makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Now, with you and Stephanie, like you're always a team. What made y'all join the Inbox Booth mission?
Again, to revert back to the leader, it's really about the leadership. Scott and Ruben are just, down to earth people.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're north of the United States border, they're still good people. They can be down to earth and still be above the,
Mm-hmm.
way above the Mason Dixon line, as we call it down here. But Scott and Ruben, they're just, it's all about the leadership with this company.
Mm-hmm.
And, before, I pull the trigger or join anybody or lock arms with anybody, I need to make sure that it lines up with our, not only biblical values, but our moral business ethics.
Right.
And Scott and Ruben, everything that they're doing and wanting to do to help other people become the best version of themselves that God created them to be, it was a no brainer for us. It didn't take us long. Uh, didn't take us but a few weeks to pray, and the God sent us to answer very quickly
Absolutely.
on to lock arms with Scott and Ruben and Inbox Booths.
That's amazing. And what direction do you see this company going for the future?
Well, man, I was just the other day. I just had a meeting in here and with another business colleague of mine. It's actually we're building a board of directors, and we got some very great ideas of where this company's going to go here in the U.S. marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And what we have planned, we can't leak out yet,
Mm-hmm.
but I can leak out and let you know. One of our business partners is we was sitting here in this booth, and he remarked like he's like, man, this is the most comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
relaxing meeting I've ever had. He was sitting right here where I'm at, leaned back, we're talking, got our legs stretched out, and we're sitting here talking, and he's like, Jimmy Ray, we're gonna really help a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
when you introduce this to the local marketplace here in Dallas
Mm-hmm.
with our plans. But yeah, he's a well-known real estate broker around here. Charles Haley Jr.
Mm-hmm.
is my business partner and board. He's going to be sitting on our board of directors
Mm-hmm.
with this holding company that we're starting.
Okay.
So the direction that we're going to start here in Dallas, and we're going to move it across the nation on some other business ventures within the next 3 to 5 years. One of the other goals is Stephanie and I are looking within the next 3 to 5 years having at least 20 showrooms or retail outlets here in Dallas, Fort Worth area.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we're relocating to Knoxville, Tennessee
Mm-hmm.
next June. Our
Mm-hmm.
the oldest daughter, uh, we're just wanting to move out there to be closer to them too, and that's where her husband's from.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only 3 hours north of my hometown of Spartanburg, South Carolina,
Wow.
and 3 hours east of Nashville, Tennessee. So
Mm-hmm.
within the next 3 to 5 years, our goal to have 20 retail stores
Mm-hmm.
in DFW, Nashville, Knoxville, and Spartanburg, South Carolina.
That sounds amazing.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I would hope that for both of you as well and for the company. They got really unique things here. This right here establishment is very nice. I
Yes,
like
ma'am.
it. But I want to know, what is your goal to personally accomplish with this company? Like your own personal.
To help other innovators and other business leaders to craft their workspace environments,
Mm-hmm.
to help them understand about the acoustics and the way, especially since COVID, the way the office space and office from home and the hybrid is working, and help them construct a more creative and productive way to produce more net new profits
Mm-hmm.
in a shorter period of time, as I've already stated, so they can build and expand their businesses faster,
Mm-hmm.
quicker, sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
And the way to do that is to introduce them to these inbox booths that just launched here 5 or 6 weeks ago in the U.S. marketplace
Mm-hmm.
to grow and expand their business, to help them unlock their full potential and unlock their financial goals.
I love that. I love that. Those are great goals.
Mhm.
Exactly. So, what impression do you want to leave on the viewers from this interview?
Well, the impression I would like to leave is how I actually began some of the networking events. You got the 30-second pitch or 30 or 60
Mm-hmm.
second pitch when you stand up. So along the lines, I like to end the interview with how I start at the networking events, introducing myself. I'm Jimmy Ray with Inbox Booths. We help entrepreneurs and business leaders such as yourself
Mm-hmm.
invest into and to buy back your most valuable asset,
Mm-hmm.
and that's your time.
Yes.
And how we help you do that is we offer you a way to unlock your full potential
Mm-hmm.
and financial goals by showing you a way to adapt by utilizing our soundproof booths into your workspace environment, so
Mm-hmm.
your people will be more creative, produce more in a shorter period of time,
Right.
leave more fulfilled and more accomplished when at the end of the day by utilizing our booths, and to help you create more net new profits within the first 90 days of utilizing our product.
Right.
And we guarantee that. We stand behind that. It's actually a 100-day guarantee free trial.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like it, if it didn't produce, if it didn't perform, or you didn't perform, or whatever the case may be,
Mm-hmm.
you get your money back. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
It is a
And
no-brainer.
we can help you be more creative, create more net new profits within 90 days.
Love that.
And we put the stamp on it.
I love that. Well, I do want to thank you for the interviewing with me today and telling me about this great company that you have going on here. I'm just saying, I'm really loving this spot. You really should go check them out. Inbox Boost. Pick up with Jimmy Ray. And how can people get a hold of you?
Okay, my email is Jimmy Jimmy dot Ray Ray at inbox booth. That's not with an S. So INBOXBOOTH.com.
All right. Well, thank you all. Thank you all for watching. Please go and support